Hi everybody, it's Elisa Murray here, living the sweet life, and we're working on our Jesse tree for Advent. And today we're working on day 17. And the ornament we're going to put on our tree is the walls, and it's also representing Nehemiah. And so I'm going to put this on our tree right here. We're getting really full with our tree, aren't we, guys? It's starting to look really nice. For those of you that are not familiar with the Jesse tree, we've gone through this pretty much at every step of the way on all these episodes. We started with creation and we've gone all the way through. We did the Jesse tree, we've done baby Moses, we've done the 10 Commandments, we've done the grain with Ruth, and we've done Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and we've done the harp and the horn and the oil lamp. And today we're going to talk about Nehemiah. And Nehemiah was really upset because he was upset that the Israelites were in Jerusalem, and when they were captive, they were all upset and the entire city was destroyed. And so he really was concerned about that. And so he was the cupbearer to the king in Persia, King Artaxerxes, I think is how you say it. And if it's not, then you know I've said before, my Bible scholars, I'm apologizing in advance. But anyway, he asked if he could leave from service from the king, and he wanted to go, and he wanted to try to figure out what he could do to help get everybody following the Lord and to help rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. And he was able to do that, and he was able to get the walls rebuilt in 52 days. And what's cool about this particular story is, and we're going to go through the scriptures in just a minute, is that the walls were rebuilt, Jerusalem was restored, and this is the exact same place that Jesus would walk through for Palm Sunday, and also ultimately for the salvation from the resurrection of him, you know, whenever we had the resurrection of Christ. And so this is a beautiful sort of a preemptive story in that God has always got a plan for us, and there's always a way. And so our little prayer that we have on the back today is that, Lord, you're always working out the details of your plans for our lives and for us to have hope and prosper. Help us to follow your plan. And this year, probably more than any other year in many of our lives, certainly recently, there's a few old people that may remember a harder and darker time. It's been a difficult year for everyone. And it's important that we understand that God has a plan for us and that we just need to stay close to him in prayer, and that we may not be doing things the same way that we were doing them, but we are certainly headed in the right direction. So we want to read our scriptures today. They are from Nehemiah 1 through 11, and 2, 1 through 8, and 6, 1 and 6:15. So the words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. Now in the month of Chislev, in the 20th year, as I was in Shushan, the palace, Hanani, one of my brothers, came, he and certain men out of Judea, and I asked them concerning the Jews who had escaped, who were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. They said to me, the remnant of who are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The walls of Jerusalem are broken down, and all of its gates have been burned with fire. When I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned certain days, and I fasted and prayed before the Lord God of heaven, and said, I beg you, Yahweh the Lord, the God of heaven, the great and awesome God, who keeps covenant and loving kindness with those who love him and keep his commandments. Let your ear now be attentive and your eyes open, that you may listen to the prayer of your servant, which I pray before you at this time, day and night, for the children of Israel, your servants, while I confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against you. Yes, I and my father's house have sinned. We have dealt very corruptly against you, and have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the ordinances, which you have commanded your servant Moses. Remember, I beg you, the words that you commanded your servant Moses, saying, if you trespass, I will scatter you abroad among the peoples. But if you return to me and keep my commandments and do them, through your outcasts were in the uttermost parts of the heavens, yet will I gather them from there, and will bring them to the place that I have chosen to cause my name to dwell. Now these are your servants and your people, whom you have redeemed by your great power and by your strong hand. Lord, I beg you, let your ear be attentive now to the prayers of your servant, and to the prayers of your servants who delight to fear your name, and please prosper your servant today, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. Now I was cupbearer to the king in the month Nisan in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king. When wine was before him, I took up the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had not been sad before in his presence. The king said to me, "Why is your face sad, since you are not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart." Then I was much afraid. I said to the king, "Let the king live forever. Why shouldn't my face be sad when the city, the place of my father's tombs, lies waste, and its gates have been consumed with fire?" Then the king said to me, "For what do you make a request?" So I prayed to the God of heaven. I said to the king, "If it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, that you would send me to Judea, to the city of my father's tombs, that I may build it." The king said to me, the queen was also sitting by him, "For how long shall your journey be, and when will you return?" So it pleased the king to send me, and I sent him a time. Moreover, I said to the king, "If it pleases the king, let letters be given to me to the governors beyond the river, that they may let me pass through until I come to Judea, and a letter to Asaph and the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the citadel by the temple, for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall enter into." The king granted my requests because of the good hand of my God on me. So the wall was finished in the 25th day of Elul in 52 days. Again, Nehemiah 1, 1:11, 2, 1 through 8, and 6:15. I hope you guys are enjoying this journey to Advent. It's just the most wonderful thing to see all these different specific points and people that God placed in the path and made a path for Jesus Christ's birth. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to go through and see all these different people, and each one of them played a specific role. I know that in my own life, I've got several different instances, I call them God winks, where people have made a difference and have stepped in and done things have happened to me that I know clearly were signs from God that I was on the right path. And this YouTube channel happens to be one of them too. Listen, I hope you guys are really having a wonderful day. Please do me a favor if you're enjoying this, doing it with the children. Like and share, ring that bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the channel. Take care.